Watch Transit TV right now.
Keep watching Transit TV.
As a striker, in terms of his position, he's not dropping too deep or running around the pitch a lot that he used to do, and which is something that I've been saying before. A striker stays around the 18-yard box if you want to score goals. You don't go from left, right, east, west, north, and south and expect to still score goals. A lot of times, by the time you do all that, if you manage to find chances, you don't have the energy and the focus and the picture in your head to score the goals. In these last two games, yes, he has helped the team around, but he has also tried to stay more central and in and around the 18-yard box, and this is the reason why. Transit TV, welcome back again. What a birthday I'm having today. Celebrating my birthday. Aston Villa giving me the dessert earlier in the morning with a win over Manchester City, and Arsenal bringing the main course later in the day with a 5-1 sumptuous win over Crystal Palace. This was a game that came in with a very big question. Selhurst Park being a place most big teams go and struggle, and Crystal Palace being unbeaten in the last 5 Premier League games. You always thought that this was going to be a very tough one for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus provided a big question in the lineup coming to this one. Should Arteta stick with Kai Havertz, who has been the first choice striker for Arsenal through the season in that position, or should he be loyal to Jesus for the hat-trick he scored against the same team on Wednesday this week? Nobody was sure how Arteta was going to answer those questions, and he went with both of them being on the pitch, and a decision I have a few questions about. Arsenal now has the same goal difference with Chelsea, 18 goals plus goals, with Chelsea having a game in hand to play tomorrow. Arsenal is now the third best scoring team in the EPL, with Tottenham topping that chart in 36 goals, I think, Chelsea 34, and Arsenal have now scored 33 goals or so. And Arsenal also has the second best defense behind Liverpool, who have conceded just 1 goal. No, 3 goals, so less than Arsenal. So yeah, coming to this one, it was only going to be a tough one, because I tell you now, Crystal Palace are no mugs, and he panned out that way in the first half. Was very chaotic game, and we are going to. And this was a game also. You don't forget that we saw Bukayo Saka limp off in the first half from what looks like a hamstring, meaning Saka probably will be away for the next 3 weeks. It's going to be a very massive win for a big miss for Arsenal. Though they bounce back in the second half, scoring 2 more goals without Saka, and giving opponents a little bit of what to expect even without Saka. This is a team many have questioned before this time, and if you remember, it was slightly before this time last season that this team picked from and went on a very, very audacious run. Arsenal fans will be hoping that this will be the case again this season, and we probably try to dissect this one a little bit and let you know a few things we learned from this one. Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 5. First thing we learned, confident Gabriel Jesus, means scoring 5 goals in 1 week, in the space of 4 days, scoring 5 goals in any way cannot be overlooked, and this shows the quality that the player has. But it's not just about the goals. Let's talk about what has changed for Gabriel Jesus. And if you ask me, I think he has adapted his game a little bit. You say confidence. Confidence, of course, comes from scoring. So he had to score first before he gained the confidence. So scoring that first goal yesterday on Wednesday, and the way he scored, he showed a player that trusts his ability. But one very significant thing I found out today, or two things I found out having watched these two games, looking at Gabriel Jesus, are two things. One, first of all, he is playing more as a striker in terms of his position. He's not dropping too deep or running around the pitch a lot that he used to do, and which is something I've been saying before. A striker stays around the 18-yard box if you want to score goals. You don't go from left, right, east, west, north, and south and expect to still score goals. A lot of times, by the time you do all that, if you manage to find chances, you don't have the energy and the focus and the picture in your head to score the goals. In these last two games, yes, he has helped the team around, but he has also tried to stay more central and in and around the 18-yard box, and this is the reason why he has got his goals. The second one is he's shooting more. The way before Jesus, the way he puts the ball around his legs, only has the option of dribbling and passing, but now he keeps the ball some meters away from his feet. It gives him ability to shoot, so he shoots. And I remember listening to one of the commentators last week, and he said that when Saka was asked, he said, if you don't shoot, you don't score. And that's what Jesus has decided to do. He's shooting, making more attempts, and getting more goals. So Gabriel Jesus, if this is the Jesus, and again, let's not forget that this young man suffered 2 or 3 major injuries in the last 2 seasons, so probably he has finally removed those fears that you get when you come back from those kind of massive injuries from his mind, and he's not playing with freedom. If we remember the quality that we saw from Jesus when he first arrived at Arsenal, if Arsenal can get anywhere close to that Jesus, I think this league will not be over yet. There are still contention to be made, to be done between Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool. City, of course, you know, are just 6 points behind with all their struggles, so they are still in this one. And you know, having looking at that, so you know, Jesus, I would just pray that he stays with this consistency, with this confidence, and with his scoring boots. And you know, he would have also had the hat-trick today, and he can only have himself to blame because he had the opportunity today to score those goals. And that takes us to Mikel Arteta. Good coach, solid coach, but what is between Arteta and Kai Havertz? Must Kai Havertz start every game? Yes, you had to go with Jesus considering his form. Why must you start Kai Havertz in the midfield? Anytime Kai Havertz starts in that midfield, Arsenal loses the balance, especially defensively, and we saw that in the first half. There was chaos. That defense was open, which is one of the reasons why Arsenal considered the goal that they considered. You had Mikel Merino on the bench, you had Declan Rice on the bench, and these two players give you more defensively, and they give you more energy in and around the midfield. So what is the brain behind starting Kai Havertz in the midfield? Declan Rice also drives forward. You can say he's not as technical as Kai Havertz, but he's going away to Selhurst Park, a place you know that it's difficult to play a game against Crystal Palace. How do you on earth start Kai Havertz in the midfield? So Arteta, sometimes, I don't know, somebody said he creates his own problems. These are the kind of things that if this game had gone the other way today, you will be blaming Mikel Arteta because of his lineup, because the Rice is fit and Merino is fit. So what is Kai Havertz starting in the midfield for? And that was the only thing I saw in the lineups. Luis Kelly, of course, kept his place, did very well, and Calafiori came and finished it up. So yeah, Kai Havertz, I don't think he does a good job in the midfield. He got his goal, but if you watch his attitude on the pitch, if you watch his position, if you watch his mindset, you will see that he kept going forward, which was what made that midfield to be without wide open. And Arsenal didn't have the balance that they usually have in their games, and affected them even in the build-up play, because the numbers we are smaller in the normal position that you used to have. So I don't think Kai Havertz is a good option playing in the midfield, not just because of his ability, but because of his mentality in terms of positional play. He's an intelligent player, I know, but he cannot get a better output from Kai Havertz in the midfield over Declan Rice and Mikel Merino. And we talk about Crystal Palace. One other thing we found out today, yes, this game ended in a 5-1 scoreline. That in no way narrates the story. Crystal Palace would have scored at least 3 goals today if they were a little bit more clinical. And from the way Crystal Palace pressed Arsenal today, forced them to making errors. In the first half, Arsenal was nowhere close to how efficient they used to be in terms of keeping possession and passes, and this is because of the amount of pressure and quality that they saw against Crystal Palace today. This team are no mugs. Like I said, they are coming off of 5 unbeaten record in the league, and this is the heaviest defeat they have had under this coach. So yeah, Crystal Palace need to be taken seriously. I think this team, if they can add a little bit more of quality into this team, they probably will be one of the teams that should be pushing for Europe, if not Champions League, at least the Europa League or Conference League, as the case may be. So yeah, this team needs to be respected, and teams that come there, you have to be ready. The fans are usually up for it, but the quality that this team has on the pitch, and if you look at their coach, he looks like one that knows exactly what he is trying to do. And like I said, on the 14 that we learned, Arsenal today, especially in the first half, we are very, very untidy in possession. There are so many misplaced passes, and this is not just 1 or 2 players. All around the pitch, it was just an issue. Of course, Odegaard, you can't really mention him when you talk about stuff like this, but almost the whole team. De Vrij almost gave them 1 goal. Partey was caught in possession a few times. What's his name? Saliba also had his own issue. Just around the pitch, it was just all over the place. There was something about Arsenal today that was very untidy, but I link it to the lack of balance in the midfield. That balance was not there. You would have thought that returning Partey into the midfield would give Arsenal a little bit more of control and balance, which it does. But coming to drop Kai Havertz on top of it, now nullified everything. Arteta needs to learn from this and know that his best midfield pair will always be Partey, Odegaard, Moreno, or Declan Rice. Kai Havertz doesn't play well in that position, and considering the fact that you have less options in that position, in striking position, why not bench one of them and start one? Why start your 2 striking options in the same game? If anything goes wrong, where is the sub going to come from? So Arteta needs to look at this and correct it in the upcoming games. And the last thing that we learned from this one is Arsenal cannot clean sheet. This is becoming a habit. This is a team that many thought that coming to this season they are going to win this league based on the defensive qualities. As we speak, they are the second best defense in the league, and this in no way supports the reputation they have built for themselves the last 2 seasons. Something has to be done. Like I said, one thing identified is the lack of balance in the midfield. You also remember that this team has suffered a lot of injuries in that back 4. I don't think Arsenal has played up to 5 games this season with the same back 4. Maybe that's one of the reasons. But having said that, I also have some questions for De Vrij and some of the goals Arsenal have conceded. The truth of the matter is that he has made a lot of good saves, solid saves, even in this game, about 2 or 3 of them. But the goal that Crystal Palace scored, you can hear the quality of Sarr taking that goal, but I believe that De Vrij that have made some of these big and massive saves for Arsenal should be saving that one, at least parry it for somebody to knock it over. So I think the defensive side of things for Arsenal needs to be looked on. They are scoring teams, but today they had their biggest win in the EPL this season, 5-1 away to Crystal Palace. Is a very, very solid performance, solid achievement today. But defensively, Arteta and his coaching staff need to look at this one. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. If you're new to this channel, like and share as well, and let me know what you think. Do you think Arsenal is still in the title race? 6 points, though 1 more game after tomorrow played ahead of Liverpool. But if Liverpool in any way do not win tomorrow, the title race opens up 1 more time, and we will have a second half of the season in our hands. Don't count Manchester City out of this one yet. We'll see.